my belief has been strengthened quite a lot over the years. And unfortunately, when I came down to the West Country, it's totally different to activities in London. And Taunton especially is not a very good breeding ground for communism. I was born in Crittlewood, which is in the borough of Willesden, and it was a bit slummy, and when the First World War started, we were living in a slightly better area, and during the war, during the First World War, I was farmed out to a relative in Ledbury in Herefordshire. My father was a soldier. I rarely ever saw him, he was always away. And my two brothers and sister, I never had very much time with them because we were all split up. I do remember being confirmed in St Albans Cathedral, but I wasn't very enthusiastic anyway. And I don't think any of the family were. I went to Aldershot, and I went to school in Aldershot, and when I was 16 and 4 months, I left school, and I went into the Royal Army Medical Corps. When I went into the forces first, there was about 7.5 million unemployed. I couldn't get a job, and so that's why I joined. But when I came home in 1930, the situation hadn't changed one little bit, and I couldn't get a job either. My brother was a member of my elder brother was a member of the ILP, and within a few weeks I was a member of the ILP as well. And we had quite a few clashes with the fascists in Willesden. Fascism was becoming rife in Britain with Mosley, and Franco was rampant in Spain. The situation there was much worse than it was in Britain, and it seemed to me if they could be stopped in Spain, they could also be stopped eventually in Britain. I was working in Queen Charlotte's Hospital in Hammersmith at the time, so I decided my skills in the Royal Army Medical Corps would be very useful in Spain. That's the reason I went. I was put in touch with the Spanish Medical Aid Committee in London, and 5 days later, I was called in, and I was asked to be ready to go to Spain. And there was a big demonstration in Trafalgar Square, and an ambulance was handed over to the group that I went to Spain with, and we travelled from there by road to Barcelona. Well, I don't know that I've learned any lessons. The fight is still the same fight as it was 50 years ago. In recent months, I've been almost as active politically as I was when I was in my 20s and 30s. But I think it's going to be a long time before we reach the stages of places like Cuba and Venezuela and so on. They're advancing far more quickly than we are towards a socialist country, to a socialist world.